Okay, I was at work since 5:30 this morning. On my first break, the sun was shining. On the second break, the sun was shining. Listen to this. Oh gosh, you can't even hear it now. There's a tin roof above here, and the rain wasn't even taking time to come down a few seconds ago. But as soon as I start recording, it starts to die down again. But nonetheless, it is raining. The weather is crap, and the winds are slightly high, so no drone today. Hey legends, what is up? Welcome along to a new video. Frustrating beyond belief. 3 days I've had time-wise, I've had a fantastic line of opportunities to get the drone out, and it just hasn't worked out. I've had it with me every day this week at work, and oh gosh, today was looking really good. At the first break, went up to the car. I'm not eating in my workplace at the moment with all the restrictions happening. Playing it safe, staying away from people as best I can. So break times come around, I jump out to the car, have break there, grab a quick bite, back into work. This morning was looking good. The lunch break, that was looking really good too, but there was a little bit of wind at that point, and I didn't realise just how bad it was until I was kind of where I am parked at. It's kind of sheltered, but at the same time it's not, and there's a bird came flying across just ahead of me. I was sitting in the car eating a sandwich. I looked out and there's this bird came ripping across the sky, flat out, and it stopped and turned to go back the way it came, and it was just flapping the wings into the wind, couldn't make a headway. But I was just kind of like, you know what, chances are, even if the weather is good, mightn't get the drone up. And held out hope coming out of work, and it is raining right now, and it's given bad weather. Apparently I haven't heard any proper weather reports, but from what I've been hearing from people I know, apparently it's not giving good over the coming week. So got it about that. But I wanted to do this quick video today to get something out there. I just didn't want to, you know, it's too many days without a video at the minute, and I just wanted to put something out for you guys, and this is it. Don't let anyone stop you from chasing the dreams that you want to chase. There will be people that will find something wrong with what you're doing. I'm kind of dancing around my words a little bit here. This is a tender topic, not for me, but it's a tender topic for some people that I know have been friendly with in the past. Not so much anymore. You know, you kind of, as you get older, you move on, you're doing different things, other people are doing different things, and you tend to drift away from people. But there's a few guys that I was friendly with, more or less friends of friends back in the day, and these guys were the educated group, and I do that in air quotes because there's a big difference between being educated in something and actually knowing what you're doing when you get out into the real world. And that was where the problem fell for a couple of these guys. They were super smart, and one of them is, and this is a topic for another video, like, you know, annoying people online. You know, your top 5 most annoying things online. That's a good video. That's going to happen at some point on this channel. One of these guys, super educated, but one of these guys that was pretty arrogant about it. You know, he was one of these guys that would sit on social media, and you know, you would see him, take Facebook for example, that little green circle there says, you know, these people are live, they're on Messenger or whatever, you know, and you know, you'd be on posting, somebody would throw up a post, or you'd put up a post yourself, and then there'd be a back and forth what happened in the comments. And this guy would be constantly active, but he would never comment on any of your posts, whatever you're talking about. But he was one of these guys that was taking it all on. He was watching everything you were doing, and he would wait for you or somebody else to spell something wrong, and then the comment would come in. It would just be, he wouldn't rip into you for spelling something wrong. He would just simply spell the word correctly in the comment below. That's insane. And just, you know, one of these guys that was just, oh, head and shoulders above everybody else when it came to things. And he was super educated when it came to photography and all that sort of stuff. And you know, definitely did have a bit of a problem with the self-taught people, myself included. I'm 100% self-taught. Don't put a big amount of work into these videos, just pretty much whatever the camera captures. You know, I'll edit in the intro, I'll cut out the before and after, depending on how bad of a mistake I make during the video. You might get a jump cut here and there. Generally you don't. Normally if I screw up saying something, I will consciously, you know, make a note of it in the video and continue on going. And this was another thing that really does annoy this person and other people like them, and they have commented a few times in the past, you don't colour correct your videos or any of that sort of stuff. And I did touch on it briefly whenever I was doing the second thank you video, you know, the completely humbled one, or whatever the title of that video was. Yeah, there's a perfect example. Most people would stop the recording, go find out the title, come back, start recording again, and then we'll go on with the video. I'm not going to do that there. My video, a couple of days old, can't remember the title of it, but Truly Humbled, that's it. I did mention briefly on there, you know, you tend to attract some negative customers while you're doing this sort of thing. And for me now, it's in one ear and out the other. But, you know, back in the day, I would have let things that got annoy me, and it would have affected me in posting more online. You know, these people like to grab hold of something that you are very self-conscious about, and it may be spelling. That's just an example. I don't even know how I went down that road, but yes, it was just an example of the sort of person that this guy was. And there's another guy, I was pretty much two at that point, were super educated. One actually has a degree in filmmaking at the minute, and apparently every time I put out one of my short films, and again, if you haven't seen any of them, check them out, coinsagemedia.com. They're all there in the film page and film gallery page. See, again, didn't even remember that there, page in my website. But this guy, and to this day, I've never heard it face to face from him. He's never actually had the courage to actually tackle me head on about it. You know, I put up a short film, and apparently the first one went up when he had done his final project, and I believe it was his first year in university. And this went up originally on my old YouTube channel, and I've consciously made the decision right now, with just all the changes that are happening online. Like, there's a few things within the content of my films, short films, that I don't think would necessarily sit well with the way YouTube and everything is going these days. You kind of need to be really careful about what you're doing online at the moment. And like, it's even coming down to words and everything for me now. There's some certain words, you know, it's all about keywords whenever you go into searches and all that sort of stuff. If you're making videos, you'll know this stuff. But again, keywords can affect, your channels and your content, and it's pretty easy to get into trouble these days. But that short film, to get back to the point, you need to get used to this if you're watching my stuff. I tend to have a topic, start talking about something, and then go on a tangent on something completely different. So bear with me, we will get to the point of this video. That short film went up. It was pretty much the first short film I did. It was called, well, what I would class as a short film. It was more, when I did it, it was kind of more sketch based sort of thing, kind of like a punchline ending, kind of a jokey sort of a thing. And it was called Twilight, and the whole point of the film was a friend of mine had bought the Twilight box set, and don't want to ruin it for you. It's entitled Twilight, and it does involve the Twilight box set of movies and a punchline ending. Pretty much like just 4 or 5 minute short film. But we did this for a joke. But the thing was, literally, I went out that day. The film doesn't look great, camera work wise, because the camera I was using for that short film was literally bought the week before it, and I had just invested in a new editing computer and a copy of Final Cut 7. So I was going on with a camera. I wasn't, just didn't really know the settings of it. And when I did set it up for the short film, I actually used settings that I'd, Googled online what would be the best settings for this camera. Turns out, when I got to the editing stage, they were not the best settings for that camera. So if you see big movements in the camera shots, like there's a lot of panning shots, like this sort of a thing, it is very shaky. It just doesn't look good. But we went out, did this little short film, had an idea of what we were going to do, as far as, right, you're going to be doing this and we're going to finish here, like start, middle and end sort of a thing. No scripting involved, I didn't even plan out my shots or anything like that the way you really should do. It's kind of like, had the idea in my head, and we just kind of went, just lined it up in my head. Right, we need to do this first, then we'll do this, and then we'll do that. No real big planning involved in it whatsoever. But we put it online at that point, and it got a fairly good response. It was, as I say, jokey sort of a film, punchline ending sort of thing. People found it humorous, apart from this one guy that was in university at that stage, and apparently he had a real problem with it, because his end of year project had gone up. From what I can make out, as I say, to this day, I know him, friend of a friend sort of thing. We've never really been in big major contact with each other, but he did apparently have a huge problem with this film going out, because apparently, I don't know, this is an assumption on my part, because I hear his end of year project went up. A couple of days later, me, within the same sort of Facebook friend circle sort of a thing, stick up this jokey sort of a thing. It was just made off the cuff really. We did it in an afternoon, and I edited it the same evening, so it was literally 7 hours after we had to record on the first shot. It was edited and online within a day, so goodness knows. But apparently, huge problem with that film. And then with every film since that, self-taught. Literally, you can see it in the short films itself. It's all stuff, all effects that I learned myself how to do, and then we'll go and do the short film and see if we could actually do the effects. So whenever you're seeing the film, or the first 4, 5 short films up there, you can literally see this guy is, short film's a freaking test. It's so apparently with every film I had a huge problem with that. And of course, I had to keep hearing it off other people, not myself. So that was kind of playing onto me. And for a long time, that fed into my own kind of insecurities. And if you start making videos, you're going to get insecure about it. You're going to be kind of really self-conscious. And again, in that video I did with the truly humbled thing, you seen it in that video, sitting beside a river, camera and a tripod, and every once in a while, and if you haven't seen it, go and check it out. And I do refer to it in the video. You'll see me looking over my shoulder every once in a while, you know, because you still have that self-conscious thing about, you know, I'm out here talking to a camera, maybe somebody's going to see me doing this, self-conscious sort of thing. So people tend to, and I find this a lot in Northern Ireland in particular, the humour is very, very sarcastic in Northern Ireland, and there's parts of the country where people will actually, as part of their sarcasm, there's a thin line between being sarcastic and just being downright ignorant to someone, and that line really does blur in parts of Northern Ireland, and they will actually, people will actually find stuff that you're insecure about and actually, you know, lean into that there to really, really annoy you. And it sucks. And this was what kind of happened with the short film stuff. You know, these guys kind of realised that there was a little bit of insecurity in me whenever I was putting stuff out, and then they would make damn sure to comment on something that they would, you know, think at that point would be like a bullseye. And for a long time it did work. And I did actually, did I even say it on this channel yet? I don't believe it did. I put out a social media post. But whenever I get to the 100 subscribers mark, I think I have got it on this channel now that I'm saying it. I think I did do it. But I'm literally going to burn my TV and film qualification, because for me, that should be something you're proud of, an achievement. Sorry for the jump cut. The video stops recording after 15 minutes. So that should be an achievement, a TV and film qualification. It's not a degree, far from it, but it is something where I could go and say, can I have a job please, because I've got this little piece of paper. You know, it should be it is an achievement, but it is something you should be proud of. But for me, the reason I did that after being self-taught was because of the negativity that was coming in from a few of these guys that were actually in university doing something similar to it, whether it be TV and film or photography, whatever it may be, you know, along this line of stuff here, having problems. And the guy that actually was in, that had the problem with the short film, the first short film, and the subsequent films afterwards, I was told that he had said this, and again, I don't know this. This is coming from other people, bar him. Hasn't had the courage to say it to me. I do know he has a problem, or had a problem with me at the time. But apparently he said it was, what way was it put to me? I can't recall the exact words now. But it was, I am disgusted that someone as uneducated as Rodney Stewart would attempt to make a short film. That's the exact words that were fed back to me. And that alone, you know, was enough to make me go find a course and do it, get a qualification just to have, and then if anything like that ever come up again, I can rip out this piece of paper and, like, you know, I've got a good enough qualification right here that would get me a job somewhere if I actually wanted to go and get one. And for me, that piece of paper right now, that should be something you should be proud of. And don't get me wrong, it is nice having it there, but what I did find in that course, it was like Explore Filmmaking was the course, and literally every step of the way through the course, everything that they taught me on that course, I was just going through the notions. I was just going through the motions of the course, because basically everything within that course was stuff that I had actually learned by buying a camera, editing suite, got out, trying something, failing, getting back up, starting again. And you know, if you do want a good place to start learning this stuff, there's a YouTube channel called Film Riot, and it's a guy called Ryan Connolly, who runs a company called Triune Films, who actually, he's actually a film student, and he runs a YouTube channel where essentially he will do a sketch at the start of the episode. And forgive me, I'm just looking for a Blu-ray. One of the only Blu-rays I have is actually from this YouTube channel, because the guy is so good at what he does that he put out a short film on Blu-ray, and I bought the thing just to show a little bit of support for his channel, because what he's doing is flipping amazing. He literally starts off every episode with like a comedy sketch or a horror sketch sort of a thing, and after the sketch finishes, he'll actually take you through a tutorial on how he actually did it. So that's where I started learning my stuff. So check it out. I can't actually see it. I know I have it here somewhere. Like, I've got a crap load of DVDs and stuff here. That's like an old school shop right here. But anyway, that's another tangent, so we're just going to leave it there. Check them out anyway. Film Riot, Triune Films, if you're interested and you don't have the money to go to university. It's a great place to start. That's where I learned all the little tricks that I used throughout the short films and stuff. So that piece of paper is, for me right now, that qualification is nothing more than the physical manifestation of my own insecurities and myself back then, as kind of like, maybe I'm not good enough to do this. And chances are I'm probably not. Like, the chances are very, very high. But it's filmmaking and video making in general is very, very much subjective to the person that's actually watching it. So somebody could watch these videos and think this guy is crap. Somebody else could watch these videos and think, this guy's pretty good, I'm going to subscribe to him, follow his stuff and see where he goes with it and whatnot. And if you do that, I appreciate you for doing it. But don't let someone with that kind of mentality come in, play into your insecurities and make you stop doing things. Because when I went and done that course, it was actually before we made the last short film that I have on the website. It's called Conclusions. Go and check it out. That film actually has a director of photography on it who has worked on, he's worked on a crap load of stuff. Like, he's a veteran in the trade, but he actually worked on Hollyoaks. So if you're from the UK, I don't know if Hollyoaks goes outside of the UK, I've got no idea, but it's pretty big in the UK. He actually worked on that there, the cameraman and a lot of stuff. Blown away when I was putting out the word on social media to see if anybody was interested. This guy comes in and I look through the CV and I see these tons of documentary names that I actually recognised, and he came on and actually helped me with that short film, and didn't actually charge me for it. He knew I was in a tough spot. He came on, helped me out, and we were actually, when most of the short film was finished, me and him actually had to go out. The film opens up with a shot of my car coming down towards the coast on Northern Ireland here. And that's the opening of the film. So I'm actually in the film, driving the car. You don't actually see me, but a director will always put himself somewhere in his own movie. So that's where I'm at in that film. You don't actually see me, just a little black silhouette from the car. But me and him went out on our own to shoot that opening part, because we didn't need anybody else there to do it. And we were 1-on-1 of each other for the first time within the shoot, and it was actually, how come with the crazy career that you have had up to this point, like I've seen your CV and whatnot, you've done a mess load of fantastic stuff before this now, why are you actually helping me out on a silly little short film? And he's like, because I've never done it before. and he was just there. Even after all the experience he's had, you know, he had a different thing had come up, and he's like, I would like to try that out. So he come on, helped me out, and so thankful for that. But you know, if I had have let those guys' opinions get to me to the point where it made me stop doing something, I wouldn't have got the short film conclusions made, and it is by far the best thing I've done up to this point. Very, very proud of it. And yes, if I had have stopped at that first speed bump, you all get them. People all play into your insecurities. A recent thing that did happen, this video is going to be insanely long, but it's going to be very, very educational for you if you're interested in getting into this stuff. One of the last guys that came at me was basically about this right here, the YouTube channel, talking to a camera and posting it online. Huge problem with me doing this, and couldn't figure it out, and it was all coming from email and whatnot. Never came through YouTube to start off with. It was through Facebook. Again, someone that I had met. Like the biggest surprise when you start getting stabbed in the back is the vast majority of it will never come from strangers. It's always from someone you know. That's always, without a doubt, someone you've met, someone you've known. It could be anybody. It could be anything. It could be, you know, you could find out your best mate has been trying to message your woman, or someone you're attracted to, or someone you've been intimate with in the past, behind your back on social media. Could be something like that there. That's just an example. But you know, it does happen. You do get stabbed in the back. But this guy came at me through social media. Huge problem with me making videos. Basically, got an email from him one night, about 3 pages worth of complete nonsense, and basically telling me to stop making videos and whatnot. Couldn't figure it out for a long time. This went on for the better part of 3 years. I would get an email on there, I get a cheeky message, private message, and Facebook, whatever, and me trying to avoid it, but you know, sometimes you just have to shut them down. So it got to the point where that guy had to be blocked on social media, and then I get a message out of the blue one night on this channel from this guy, from a YouTube account, for the first time in 3 years. YouTube account comes in, and he literally comments after 12 seconds of a video where I open it up and saying something like that: sorry, I haven't uploaded in a long time, I'm crap at making videos. So of course, straight into the comment section, you know, why? The worst, it's not a good way to make a video by telling people that you're crap at making videos, sort of thing. But I was just more or less like, you know, for somebody that should be uploading daily, I am feeling badly at it. But so I go for a little search on this YouTube channel that he finally posted off, and I discover 6 years previous to him starting to send me messages, having big problems with me making videos on YouTube, that he actually did make a whole two video blogs himself, fairly similar to this here. And within the video blog that he had put up, there was friends of his in the background of his own videos actually giving him abuse for talking to a camera. So this guy was offloading his own insecurities onto me, the same way these other two guys were. So you're going to get that if you're interested in doing anything like this. So don't let it stop you. Those two guys, the two film students at the that I was talking about at the beginning of the video, last time I checked on those guys, neither one of them are actually working within the career they went to university for, whatever qualifications they have. They're not working there anymore. The last post, that the first guy, the photography guy, the last post I seen of his on his business account for Facebook was him literally selling his gear, and he hadn't posted in a year, roughly a year since he had that post up. So he sold his stuff, goodness knows what he's doing. The other guy, I can't recall the name offhand of what, you know, I've got the whole Coins Age Media thing, Here's Rotters, whatever it may be. Whatever he was making videos or whatever, short films, whatever name he was using at that stage, he had actually put on his account that he had left the company, sort of a thing. So he had changed his employment status, so goodness knows what he's doing. This other little guy that was at me with the whole Facebook thing, he is fairly active the last time I checked up on him, but he's only posted something like, you know, as far as actually putting something out online, which you need to be doing. If you want to be doing anything these days, you need to be doing it regular, which is why I'm into this stuff as well. You know, if you're not posting on a fairly regular basis and you're into this sort of thing, you're pretty much invisible these days, so you need to stay on top of it. So this guy has put out something like 5 projects in the past 4 to 5 years, like a project a year essentially. So, you know, don't let somebody else come at you with their insecurities because they're not hitting the goals they want to hit. This sort of thing here, and anybody who's doing it for any length of time will tell you the same. You can be, and again, that's why I was so surprised and grateful whenever I got that shout out done by Whitey the White Guy show. It was just something I wasn't expecting. I was just in that place where I was just so used to hearing that kind of negativity, especially in Northern Ireland. They're absolutely terrible for it over here, but don't let that annoy you, because those guys that were on my back, they're no longer doing it now. So don't fall into the trap that I fell into and stop what you're doing. You know, I stopped for a long time to get that damn degree. Didn't need it. I already knew all that stuff. So that's why when we get to 100 subscribers, I'm born on that bad boy, and I cannot wait for it to happen. So I'm going to talk to you in the next video, guys. Hope you're all staying safe and healthy. Be good, and I'll talk to you then.